Hello, I'm Kaylee Hutchins, editor of Data Centre Review, and today I'm joined by Geoff Halliday, business consultant at WB Power Services, for this quickfire interview. Welcome, Geoff, and thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
So let's get straight down to it. There is growing use of modular critical power supply systems in the data centre market. How widespread is the adoption of this type of solution in the marketplace today?
The answer to that is a simple one, really. Its popularity is growing very, very quickly, particularly amongst the hyperscale builders, where they're under such pressure to build and get sites into operation quickly. Mm-hmm. Anything that can be sensibly built off-site is going to be built off-site. This frees the construction guys to get on with their job and build the infrastructure, and it takes pressure off-site working, particularly at the most stressful end of the project, where everybody is falling over each other to get the project finished on time, and it's the time when mistakes can be so easily made. So this was the main driver, really, behind why WB designed and developed the ePod system.
Wonderful, thank you. Can you just go back a bit and maybe briefly explain what the OFCI procurement is, and how does the WB ePod solution help resolve those issues?
Okay, so OFCI as opposed to CFCI. So CFCI is the conventional, widely adopted way in which contracts are progressed and procured. What it actually means is contractor furnished, contractor installed. OFCI is a variation on that, where the owner, OFCI, owner furnished, contractor installed, so the owner, the developer, or whoever manages the procurement process. So what this actually means in practice is that the builder, the guys that are paying the money to have the data center built, are actually procuring the essential equipment, such as generators, transformers, UPS systems, all those critical items of plant, directly themselves. So the reason that they're moving in this direction is because it gives them direct access to the procurement and supply chain. So it facilitates a level of standardization of products across their portfolio of buildings and estate. Enables them to build strong relationships with the product manufacturers and right across the supply chain and everybody that's involved in that particular project. It also allows them to choose their preferred suppliers as well. It also increases client buying power for long-term procurement planning and for pre-ordering equipment, hence shortening lead times of the products. So it speeds up the building process of all their data centers. So just a couple of other kind of benefits, if you like, is it helps them to spread and manage their cash flow in a better way. It eases their securing agreements for ongoing through life maintenance and access to parts of those pieces of equipment. And it can also improve the quality of the end result, if you like, by using modular off-site manufacturing, repeatable designs. This also means that equipment can be installed earlier in the program than it otherwise might be. So there are lots and lots of advantages to it. So the second part of your question, really, the typical data center critical power chain will include MV/LV transformer, MV/L switchgear, generators, UPS cooling, whole gambit of different factors. And the advantage that the WB ePod brings is that we are able to integrate all of those different aspects of the critical supply chain, a one-stop shop solution, if you like. And that gives a very flexible approach to the contractor as well, because it means that we take design responsibility for that entire element of the project. And the principal contractor can then be rest assured, if you like, that all this equipment will be pre-tested before it's delivered to site. And it also reduces the amount of time it takes to install once it's there.
Thank you. With that in mind, this obviously might be a difficult question to ask, but if there was one thing you think the WB ePod solution has over other potential competitors, what do you think it is?
I think the key takeaway, and this is kind of a bit of a cliche in a way, but it's to always go to the people that know and have experience of what they're doing. If you want a one-stop shop modular critical power supply solution, then you go to somebody who specializes in one-stop modular critical power supply solutions. The whole package, taking the client brief, design, manufacture, installation, commissioning through to long-term ongoing maintenance. If you cut corners, it often doesn't end up in a pretty place, does it? So use the experts in this very specialist field.
Thank you. And then just to wrap up, you spent some time talking about the advantage of OFCI procurement, but are there disadvantages and how can they impact a project?
Okay, I think most of the large hyperscale developers, not all by a long way, but a lot of them are either funded or based in the US. And these guys are building infrastructure right across the globe, and standards, be they product standards, be they environmental standards, all of those sorts of aspects vary from country to country and from region to region. And some of the products that might be available or specified specifically in the US may not be available in those other markets because they don't necessarily meet the standards or those other type of requirements. And those sorts of things can impact the finalization and completion of the design process. And it's that time taken during that phase. If it's too long, then you end up just delaying the build of the start of the project and the build of the project and the procurement process of itself. So that is one of the big risks, I think. I think there's also a perception of those that are procuring in this way that they see a major financial benefit from the close relationships. And there are benefits, of course, in having those close relationships. But it does cut down competition in the market as well. I think the big plus side, if you're on an OFCI agreement, it's great. Getting onto an OFCI agreement can be really quite difficult. And that can, in some ways, stymie innovation as well.
Which is obviously
a couple of the disadvantages, I think.
Yeah, and at this moment in time, innovation really is what we want going forward with the changes in the industry.
Yes. Yeah,
well, thanks so much for joining us today and sharing your insight, Geoff. That was wonderful.
No,
and to our viewers, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.